Namaste everyone and welcome to the new episode of Breaking It Down on Bharat Bhagya Vidhata. Today we are going to talk about a very different event than usual because that event actually does not relate directly to India, but its implications are definitely going to hamper India's interests in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, the event is that the International Criminal Court, which was formed by an international law or an international treaty called Rome Statute, has given an advisory ruling. The nature of that ruling is advisory, where an international prosecutor had actually asked the opinion of the court. Now, there are provisions even for ICJ, International Court of Justice, which sits in Hague, that nations or even United Nations can ask for any advisory relief. So, in ICJ, only state can be a party, but in ICC, even an individual can be a prosecutor or a criminal. So we will understand about the jurisdiction of ICC a little later. But the event basically is that the ICC ruled that it does have jurisdiction inside West Bank and Gaza Strip. West Bank and Gaza Strip on official map come in the sovereign territory of Israel. Now this statement can be disputed, but for this video we will say that Israel does claim that it has complete sovereignty on West Bank and Gaza Strip. Now this whole jurisdictional issue makes a bigger problem not just for Israel but many other countries including India. Why so? There are two parts of this judgment. One is its legal jurisdiction and second is its territorial jurisdiction. Now the legal jurisdiction is basically on what types of law a court can give its judgment or court can adjudicate the problem. So ICC under Article 5 of the Rome Statute has specifically said that we can rule on four types of issues. The first is the crime of genocide, second is crime against humanity, the third is war crimes, and fourth is the crime of aggression. So, and then these genocide, crime of against humanity, and everything is elaborated in the later articles. But the legal jurisdiction of ICC is well defined in Rome Statute as well as in different judgments which it has passed over the years. It's a very recent court. Actually, it was established in I think 2000, after 2000, the year 2000. Rome Statute's date is 2002. So it's a very new court, but it has given different judgments on different issues. Now comes territorial jurisdiction. Does the ICC, by the virtue of having the term international in its name, have an international jurisdiction? The answer is no. Under Article 12, subclause 2A, it states that court can exercise its jurisdiction on the state if the state is a party to the statute or has accepted the court's jurisdiction by a declaration. So, one nation state, for it to be a party in a dispute or the court to have jurisdiction on issues happening inside that country, because after all, country has its own sovereignty. So, for the court to have jurisdiction inside a state or for a state to blame or other state, the state has to do either of the two things. A, it has to be a party to Rome Statute, or it has to give a proclamation saying that ICC does have jurisdiction on our state. And Israel is not a signatory to Rome Statute, and neither is India. So tomorrow, if ICC goes ahead and says that even if India is not a party to Rome Statute, even if India has not proclaimed saying that ICC has jurisdiction on us, ICC can further go and adjudicate on so-called war crimes, alleged war crimes inside the territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Because the sovereignty of West Bank and Gaza Strip is disputed for so many years now. And the court is saying if we agree, even if we agree for the convenience of Israel this time, that the Palestinian territory is a non-state actor but does exist, then under the definition of state, I don't know how the ICC is going to prosecute people for crimes done inside a organization or a non-state actor. That's first thing. Secondly, court having adjudication on territories which are not defined perfectly and do have a disputed value, again that creates a legal jurisdictional problem along with territorial jurisdiction. So all this event directly hampers India's interest because it compromises on the sovereignty of India, that there is a give and take between sovereignty, that if I accept that United Nations does have a kind of jurisdiction in India, then I signed the San Francisco Declaration, the San Francisco Treaty, saying that okay, we do give some part of our sovereignty to UN to comment on our affairs. So it is by our consent we are saying that okay, yes, that international organization does have the power to comment and adjudicate. Only comment, then it wouldn't be problem. But adjudicating on legal basis directly challenges the sovereignty of any country. So this judgment does not determine the sovereignty of Palestine, does not determine the sovereignty of West Bank or Gaza Strip. It simply says that the court does have jurisdiction even when Israel is not a member. PLO is a non-state observer, something of Rome Statute, but that is not a state. Israel is not a state. Israel states that West Bank and Gaza Strip are disputed territories. Official position is it is Israel's part. So it will create a much larger legal issue when it comes to when ICC turns its heads towards Kashmir or different disputed territories in India. Thank you so much for watching this video completely. Do subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram page, Twitter, Facebook. We are almost omnipresent, and keep supporting us. Jai Hind. Thank you.